attack, fast, fatal, hard impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Minishot here, and now, before I do begin, I've been meaning to do this what if before. I never really found a way that I could do it with regular MHA. And since the ultraviolet what if, I've thought about just doing it the way I did with that one. Now, this series has been one many people have thought I would do on my channel for a long time. And it's one of the reasons why in the Quicksilver series, Deku did not receive one for all. Since a guy who runs fast and has lightning all around his body, that's basically the Flash. Now, with that being said, let us just jump right into the series with our character. We have Izuku Midoriya. Currently, he is in a park in Japan, and he's thinking about everything. It's a busy park, and from looking around here, you would think so. However, for Deku right now, it's not really all that busy. Right now, he's walking through the park, and he's using his speed. Him looking around as he does move through the crowd. He always wondered what the Flash saw things as. Flashes of light, maybe strange colors, or just blurry. But this is all different. Deku actually going to sit down on a park bench as he does go to lean back for a second. He's still using his powers, and he's just sped himself up. He can see and look around, and everything is virtually frozen. This is how speedsters perceive things. This is all happening with the span of a second. It's just crazy. If you could sit here and explain everything, you could. You could probably spend the entire life of the universe within 1 second and perceive it as nothing more than just a minute. But that minute can stretch to eternity. It's just the concept of it. This idea. Experiencing a space of time so slow, so stretched out, so endless. It's, well, kind of frightening. And Deku, he can't just help but think. He's used this time before. Oh yeah, he just stared at a textbook and he knew a lot of answers for something. And he didn't really need to study. But this is kind of different. Right now, he's still dealing with the aftermath. Because he wasn't fast enough, somebody got hurt. He wasn't able to make it there on time to save them. And he does still regret it. He knows that they are dead. But the idea in his mind is still just being a second sooner. 2 seconds, 3 maybe. It literally could have made the difference. He can't help it. These thoughts that go through his head and everything, they hurt. Now, Deku is going to bring up his wrist, looking at his watch. He's supposed to be back at the base in about 5 minutes. And Deku, he does go to stand up, as he does know that he does have a long run, and at least a few other things he does have to do. As Deku, he does quickly turn and go to bolt away, him using his incredible speed. As we do have back at the base, everybody else is all lined up, and they are staying there. And Black Canary, she's waiting. She's looking down at her watch. Okay. He's about to be here in 3. This being where Deku does just run into the room, as he does stop and go to turn, asking if he's late. Right on time. Actually. Yeah, sorry. I've been a little bit busy, you know? Deku walking over and joining the rest of the team. as everybody can tell that he is still unnerved by something, and that he may have gone out for a walk to think about it. Now, some people they do stare at Deku for a minute, as so does Black Canary. She does worry about that boy. After what happened, it can't be blamed. Plus the fact is he's a speedster. She's talked to the Flash and she's asked him before. That boy's spent the last day thinking about it, hasn't he? And for a speedster, that's practically a lifetime. 20 or even 30. So she's going to need to sit him down and ask him questions. As every day they do go through normal training and all their exercises. As we do have, whenever Deku does gotta leave, and Black Canary should stop him. As she does ask him to sit down and speak to her for a minute. And Deku, he does do so. As whenever him and Black Canary do sit down, she does actually go over and ask him if he would like something to eat. Yeah, I would like something. Well, there's a container of ice cream in the fridge. And, well, there is some frozen chicken, I think, but that would take to Deku running away and running right back. As she does look right at Deku before saying long. And Deku, he's holding 2 drumsticks. And she does just ask exactly how the hell is that possible? Huh? Oh, friction. Okay. I've never seen that before, but that would explain how Flash did it. How he did what? Never mind. Anyways. With what happened on the mission, do you want to talk about it? Explain. I would rather not. You've been thinking about it a lot, kid. I can tell you have. Especially by that look on your face. Now, we're going to talk about what happened. You may not like it, but I can tell it's going to eat at you. And it's going to bug you. So we're going to, okay? Alright. Now, Black Canary does ask Deku. Start from the beginning. And he does so. Trying to explain that they teamed up with the Justice League. And they were sent on a mission where him, Flash, Kid Flash, and even, well, another speedster, they were all running. And with exactly how it happened, Wally died. Wally, he was slow. And if Deku, he would have realized it a second sooner, he probably would be alive. Sure, he would have probably taken a brunt of that force. He would have disappeared too. But maybe there's a chance that he wouldn't have died. And Black Canary's just stared at Deku. Deku, he's talking about somebody who he was physically there to try and save. If they just slowed down. A speeder can't do that. A speedster finds trouble doing that. A speedster can't help but look forwards and want to run for it, or run for the future. Since, ironically, a speedster has the ability to change it. More than just what those words may carry to a normal person. They can physically do that. And Deku knows. He's tried before, but after that, Barry got angry. Deku ran into the Speed Force, and Barry stopped him. The two went tackling somewhere into the future, and eventually came back. They didn't stay for very long, but Barry, he was very mad. He wanted to know why Deku was going to do it, and he got angry enough to yell at Deku about the repercussions. He yelled at Deku what would have happened had he changed the past. He yelled to him and tried to explain to him. Every action has a reaction. Everything he does will change something. And if Deku tries to change the past to save Wally, there's a chance that he could die. There's a chance that by doing that, he'll cause a paradox. Or change the future again, but even worse. Time is a fragile thing. and he's messed with it enough to cause a lot of damage. And this actually does surprise Deku. He never knew the Flash messed with time up until that point, and he found it to be quite strange. He tried to ask exactly what may have changed, but Flash, he never really said. And this does catch Black Canary off guard. The Flash didn't share something? So, do you have any idea of what it might be? Not really? No? But, makes me think about it a lot. He's changed the past, and Deku actually going to lean forwards, as he just toss one of the chicken legs onto the table, explaining that it's made him thought about how he even got his powers, and if he was even really meant to. Okay. And would you like to speak about that? Well, I don't know. I just can't. Explaining it seems weird enough already. The fact that it's actually happened, though, it's even harder to believe. A lot of people I knew back then died too. I'm sorry. That's not exactly it. Back at the facility, whenever I first awakened my powers, it was insane. It was crazy. Other teenagers, other kids awaken their abilities. Even one of my friends. Even a girl I liked. I wanted to tell her that I had powers, but I just kept freaking out and overthinking. I just didn't know what to say to her, and one day I saw her at the facility, quite literally running into me. I just got swept off my feet, and me and her talked, and we became friends. And then she died. Everybody else died. I wasn't there that day either. Thinking about all that. Everybody else but this fucking psycho, me, Barry, and Wally were all that were left of the speedsters. Everyone else died. And it makes me think about a lot. I got stuck with school bullshit. And I just didn't make it there in time. It's a lot. Because I know the only way I could change it, the only way to save her would be to fuck with time. And I really want to. My friends, the girl I love, I can go back and see them, but Barry would hate me. I'd mess up everything here. I'd try to stretch or alter the timeline, make sure that they can be here today with us. But if I do so, something else bad will happen. I know that for a fact. I feel like I'm surrounded by dead people. Now, Black Canary's just stared at Deku. The way he's describing it is morbidly accurate. Deku can go back in time. He can surround himself with his friends, the people he's met, and the girl he loved. He can try to change the future. Try to make sure certain events that have already happened don't happen in that universe or that timeline or whatever you want to say. But then their reality wouldn't exist. This conversation wouldn't have happened. The last few months may have not happened. And it is hard for her to think about. Deku's reasoning and logic, they're, in a way, morbidly understandable. And a bit twisted in a way. She doesn't want to try to say something that would encourage Deku to do so. But he feels like he has to. He feels like if he goes back and changes things, then maybe it can get better. And Deku, after the session is done, he is dismissed, as he is walked out by Black Canary. And as she does walk Deku out, he does look towards the giant wall where the teleporter is. He does stare at it for a minute. The idea has crossed his mind, but he just... Deku turning and bolting. As the moment he does bolt straight for the teleporter, you do have Black Canary. She goes to throw out her hand. However, Deku has already rushed over to the console, pressing a few buttons, and run in. Aja's trying to inform him that he can't and he has to stop. He can't. Deku disappearing. As the moment he does teleport into a place, he does start running. And he does just try to think. He has to do this fast. He has to go fast. Deku charging up his electricity. As his feet, he does just go faster and faster. Trying to focus. The exact day, the exact time. What was it? Okay, he has the day. He'll just go back further. Now, Deku, he does run. As by the time Black Canary has had enough, by the time Deku is up to speed, Black Canary has not even had enough time to call the Flash. Deku, he's already run his way into the Speed Force. And she is still calling him. As Deku, he does reappear back in the past. And he does continue running. He knows what he has to do. And you do actually have where, whenever Deku, he does run past an area that does look vaguely familiar. As the moment Deku does run by it, you do have where he does find somebody. Deku actually turning his head, it does see Barry. Deku immediately looking surprised as Barry does immediately go to swing his fist out to punch him. And Deku he's sent flying at super speed. As whenever Deku he does go flying through the air and eventually smashing into a building before bouncing through it, you do have where he does get back up off the ground. As he's currently in a wide open field, Barry running over him and directly grabbing Deku by his suit. As he does smash him up against a tree for a second. What the hell is wrong with you? Barry, listen to me. I can change it. I can save them. No, you can't. Trust me. I've tried. What? I've told you this before. Everything I've tried, I've changed it. I've done it too many times. And I can't let you do it. Okay? If you change something else, who knows what might happen? Reality could fall apart. What we did already is enough to intervene. Change something. You understand that, right? I do, Barry. I do. Now, Deku, he does start to cry. As you do have, over with Flash. He does go to bring his hand up to pull back his mask. As he does, watches Deku, he does slump down towards the ground. Deku, he's just broken. He has the power to do whatever he wants. Bring people back from the dead and change the way life works. However, he's using that power to try to better the world, while costing him the one he wants. The world he would like to live it with. Or the people he would like to live it with. And Flash, he does just hold on to Deku. Deku, he's a mess. He's sobbing and he's crying. And he doesn't exactly know what to say or do. He finds it to be difficult. And challenging. Especially for what he has to do. Deku bring his hand up, as he does go to start vibrating it. Deku actually forcing his hand upwards into the chest of the Flash. As the moment Deku he does do that, he actually does jab Barry directly into one of his lungs. And Barry he does start to cough up blood. As Deku he does go to throw him to the side before quickly going to run. Now, Deku he is running very fast. And Barry he actually does try to run around for a second to charge up a Speed Force lightning bolt. Him going to throw it out, as Deku, he does just do one thing. The moment he does turn to see it, he does try to counter with one of his own. The moment he actually does spin and turn it, a large clash is heard, and the entire area they're in is covered in lightning. As we do have over Deku, he got flung backwards and smashes through a window, as he's three blocks down and in a mailbox. Deku confused, as he does go to pick up one of the newspapers and read one of the headlines. Okay, this is good. This is the right year, but Deku, somewhat realizing, he's early. He's way too early. It won't happen for another couple months. No, 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 no. I know this date. Deku looking up, as you do have, where something strange does occur. The storms above the sky, they do start to change. And Deku, he can hear it. He can hear the lightning. He can hear the rumbling. He can hear it. Before he actually does go to look down at one of his hands. And it's breaking apart. Now, Deku, he does just stare down at it. Slowly but surely, his hand. It's, well, it's just, he can't feel it. He can't feel anything. Deku's starting to freak out. As you do have where it gets to a point where Deku's entire form has disintegrated. And Deku actually starts to feel it happening on his face. As he actually does turn and see somebody. He can't see them, but he does get a quick glance at them. They're in trouble. Deku sees a lightning bolt strike up in the sky. And he does look down towards them. Him quickly trying to bolt in and save them. However, the moment Deku does get in too close, he does get caught up in the blast. As Deku, he does just lay there on the ground. He doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know what's going on. And he's staring up at the sky, as the electricity does come off of him, before he does quickly pass out. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. Catch you guys in the next one.